What financial mistake you see people making regularly? So if every woman listening to you today could follow 3 money rules, what they would be?
Finances were never discussed openly as a family in our house. The bigger chunk of discussion, girls don't understand this.
Women are built very different emotionally and psychologically, and the kind of emotional balance or the kind of strength we have in terms of giving, like you rightly said, I don't think that men can do that.
And what's one basic thing everyone should know before using some loan from the bank or before applying for some credit card?
You as a customer should make sure, instead of rushing into anything, you read everything.
When do you think that, savings, the concept of banking, for a young child, one should start?
I think the most important thing that I've learned to balance is how much to care and how much not to care.
One word you'd use to describe Dubai. Best way to relax after a hectic day. One thing you never leave home without. Who's your favorite singer? Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of The Real Journeys. We are back with another very beautiful guest for you guys. She's someone who beautifully balances 2 entirely different worlds altogether. By profession, she's a banker, navigating the fast-paced world of finance, and by passion, she's a singer, connecting to the people through her music. So she's here to share her real journey with you guys today, and we are very excited to have her over.
Indeed. Thank you, Mariam, for this introduction. And I've had the pleasure of meeting her. I'm absolutely in awe of her, with her as a person, and also at the same time for her singing. She has a beautiful voice, and she's a pioneer of something very special in Pakistan, bringing and raising the talent for Pakistan female singers called Voice of Her. I'm sure you guys have guessed her. This is Samra Khan.
So ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome this amazing star on the stage. Please welcome the one and only Samra Khan.
This is the birthplace of Baat Unkahi.
कौन है समरा खान? एक माँ, बीवी, बहू, बेटी, दोस्त, जिसे हमेशा से पढ़ने का शौक था. मास्टर्स किया, यंग एज में शादी, बैंकिंग करियर सॉर्टेड, moved between Pakistan, Australia, Dubai. Solid friends who mean the world to me. Family always been my backbone. Confidence inherited from my dad. और मम्मी की तरफ से आया compassion. और इस सब के साथ कहीं ना कहीं I've always been an artist. An artist who is still discovering herself, experimenting, networking, pushing herself. कि अब भी नहीं तो कब? बस कोशिश है कि एटीट्यूड सही रहे, मेहनत करती रहूं, गलतियां भी करूं तो उनसे सीखूं और बस आगे बढ़ूं. What's motivating me? That sound of 1,000 fans singing with you. Those shy kids trying to get a selfie. That senior artist telling me they like my performance. And especially my daughters telling me, "Ki Mama, we're proud of you." I'm also doing it for every woman who feels overwhelmed by life and just can't find the time or motivation. I do it for that love, that respect, that recognition. It's a cliche, but the reality is, I'm also doing it for me. Kyunki ab bhi nahi, to kab. So this is me, or at least most of who I am.
Welcome, Samra.
Hello, thank you.
Welcome to the show, Samra. So happy to have you over.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me. It's lovely. I was not expecting such a nice intro, but thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure, of course. I mean, we try and bring, obviously, the prominent figures making their way. And the reason we call this little podcast that we started, The Real Journeys, is about accomplished people in all walks of life and what they've done, how their journey has been, and how they've made it. And we are still learning, isn't it? So, and how we are navigating the life for ourselves, taking time for us, what we like, what we are passionate about, and in a way showing it to our children as well, isn't it? Showing it to our kids for the next generation, how we've made it this far and how we're still juggling many roles. And I think you're one of the perfect examples to talk about it.
No, that's really sweet of you. Thank you. I think what you said is bang on, that we have kind of setting an example for our children. I come from a family where my mom is a homemaker, and we always had this thing in the back of my mind that women are homemakers. And this is their primary job or their task. And I do come from a background where this was definitely there. And I think from my generation, we've kind of tried to change that, or maybe that was something that was a bit intrinsic in me through my father or through my family, that no, I want to do this, I want to do this, and I've always kind of tried to do different things, which is also not a great thing, because you can be like you cannot be a perfectionist in everything. But now that I have 2 daughters, mashallah, and I see them admiring me. When you're starting to do different things, you kind of, and especially as a mother, you always have a mom guilt in you.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I'm taking away this time from my children. I could be doing something more. But I feel that if you're a homemaker and you're a working mother and you're pursuing something that you're passionate about as well, I think you're actually setting a good example for your children. It's just the way that you present it to them, or you don't make it seem like it's a hassle or it's a pain. You kind of become an inspiration. And then you kind of focus on having more quality time with them rather than the quantity.
Absolutely.
Which is pretty much my day every day. So, but I'm grateful for that. Yeah.
No, absolutely. And I think you really put it very correctly that, mom guilt stays. But I think as mother of girls, I have 3 girls, and as mother of girls, you want to raise them to be passionate about what they do. But again, you want to raise the standard, and you can do it all. You can do what you like. You can do something for yourself. You can do something for the family. You want to give back to the community. You do that in whatever capability you have. And you're again absolutely right that they see you as their probably first role model, at home.
Yeah.
They see you doing things. They grow up watching you do things, and they grow up watching you tackle all roles in your ability to the maximum. We all put our effort to it, and we try and do 100% for each role. And it doesn't really matter, how far we stretch ourselves to thin out in performing each duty as a daughter, as a wife, as a mother, as a sister, as a professional. We do thin out, but I think we being women, I think we are made differently, and we are just, I think the core of a woman is probably to give.
Oh, yes, I agree. I think Allah has made us very tough.
Yeah.
And people can say whatever they want to say. There's a lot of labels around it as well. But I think the way, especially the women I've seen in my life, or whether it's myself or the men I've seen in my life, yes, men are very tough, but women are built very different, emotionally and psychologically. And yes, we have our moments and we have our times and we have but I feel that the kind of emotional balance or the kind of strength we have in terms of giving, like you rightly said, I don't think that men can do that.
That resilience.
So I know it's going to sound very controversial, but the thing is that we have 1,000 things going on in our mind, even when we're at work. We wake up.
That's true.
I feel like men have a very single-minded track, or maybe a couple of things just going on, and I feel like they've had enough. A man would come home and say, and again, this is again very controversial.
We like controversy. That's okay. That's what we're here to talk about.
And this is not just maybe the men in my life. This is what I hear from, like, men would come home and they'd say that I've had such a long day and it's just work, and I've had this stress and this, and whereas a working mom or even a homemaker, she would have hundreds of things to say on the same day, and she will still put up a nice meal on the table with a smile on her face. No matter how much help she still has to manage it,
or none, or no help at all, even though
and she still has to make a call to that friend or the in-laws and the socializing, and she's still listening to her daughter venting about something. And so I just think we're built different, and no matter who says what, I'm going to stay with that.
Absolutely. I think this is the life story of every working mom. And every working mother can relate to it.
Yeah,
that's absolutely correct. But I think what makes us through all these things is that the daughters, I also have 2 daughters actually, when they see you working this hard, trying to balance and manage everything, I think this is very important in their growth and their, mental build-up as well.
Yeah.
Because indirectly we are also raising very strong daughters, because they
Yes.
have seen their moms
Yes.
go through all that hassle and
Yes.
in the mornings rushes, hurry,
Yeah.
and all those things. So whenever they see us, I think it
Yeah.
plays a very important role in
absolutely.
building a very strong
Foundation for
strong
their-
foundation
yeah.
for them as well.
For their growth, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's I think it's a silly question, but I think that's what it is, isn't it? I mean, how do you balance kind of, being working mom, banker? I mean, I freak out from numbers. I tell you honestly, one of my bigger reasons to do medicine, I will not have to do maths again.
Same. You have seen that reel when some mom is doing homework with her daughter,
Yeah.
and the daughter asks, "What are you doing on your phone?" And she says, "I'm texting my sister," but actually she's doing something.
Trying to
4
solve
plus
the
4
maths.
is equal to 8. Yeah. So we are that moms. I am
Yeah,
that mom.
yeah.
I'll
So,
I'll admit that.
I still
very bad in numbers.
Yeah, I still freak out, when I look at these numbers and, the statements and, like this calculation, that calculation. I actually do freak out. And
I think our minds just shut off.
Yeah.
there.
So I'll be honest with you. Just because I'm a banker and I've always loved math does not mean that I still don't pick up the calculator once in a while, because your brain has so many things going on.
course.
Sometimes the most basic questions, just you're at a loss.
yeah.
So my daughter would come up to me and she's like the other day, I completely forgot the whole concept of BODMIS. You remember?
Yes, yes.
And that was the most basic thing. And I was like, yeah, there was a word.
Yeah.
BODMIS, kya tha? What was it? And my daughter's just looking at me, aren't you a banker?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, I knew that was coming. But to answer your question about the balance, honestly, I don't think there's any such thing as balance. I don't think I'm doing anything perfectly. I always feel that there is something missing somewhere, because you're just juggling. But the
Yeah.
thing is, do I sleep peacefully every night? Alhamdulillah, I do.
Yeah. Do it,
I
yeah.
know that I've not done anything bad towards anyone,
Yeah.
or sorry, that's a different direction of conversation. But what I'm trying to say is that I know that I've put in my 100%,
Your best to
my
it, yeah.
best,
Yeah.
and I feel like, and after a certain age, you just have to satisfy yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm happy and content,
Yeah,
then that's fine.
That's it. Yeah.
I think the most important thing that I've learned to balance is when and how much to care, and when and how much not to care.
Yeah.
Now, this could be about work. This
Setting
could be
boundaries, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So this could be at work as well.
Yeah.
This could be with my kids as well. This could be with my socializing as well. This could be anything. I think that balance I've been able to create. So now I think I'm doing okay and I'm happy because of my time management. Probably it's improved over the years.
Yeah.
I've been able to prioritize a bit better.
Yeah.
So I know that this 8 to 4:30 every day is 100% me at my work. It's not like I don't do anything else. Of course we do, because we're mums and we have 1,000 things going on.
Of course.
But after 4:30, I switch off in terms of my work.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's exceptions.
Yeah.
Then I know that I have my 3 to 4 hours with my children.
Yeah.
So, and then I have my 45 minutes drive from work to home,
Right.
where I would just call my parents or my sisters
Yeah.
back home,
Yeah.
and we use that time wisely.
Yes.
And I'm sure most of the people do that
Do that,
anyway.
yeah, yeah.
Either early morning, catch up with my sisters, and
Yeah.
the family discussions,
Yeah,
gossips,
yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
So I try to use my time smartly, and I
Yes.
think over the years I've kind of
Learn to do that.
learned to do it well, and now it's become a bit of my like a
Habit,
very
isn't it?
habit.
Yeah.
And then 8:30, my kids are off to bed. We're done with dinner, everything.
Nice.
Then I have my time. I sit. I'll enjoy a cup of tea, with my husband, or we're just watching my Pakistani serials, which
Yeah.
I'm really proud of. I
Yeah.
enjoy some of them
Yeah.
sometimes. And when it comes to music, what I do is I dedicate a few hours every week towards practice,
Brilliant.
as well as sitting and making music. So I'm trying to do that as well.
Yeah.
So and then once in a while you have your social parties, and
Yeah,
you've
yeah.
seen,
Of course.
like,
Yeah.
we have a lot of friends, lovely friends. So I try to balance that
Yeah.
whenever possible.
Oh, no, you're doing fantastic. I think before we kind of get into the fun part, and we would really love you to sing for us, some of your created songs. We talk about something different in a way that, let's talk about some banking questions. And I think that's kind of just to get that out of the way, so then we can talk about the real fun,
The fun stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's get through the boring stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my first question is, if someone asks you, what do you do? So what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Like, you want to say, I'm a singer or I'm a banker?
I generally say I'm a banker first,
Yeah.
because
Okay.
That's
because
what
of-
I've heard you say, yeah.
because of the amount of studying I've done, did my graduation and master's in Pakistan. Then I went to Australia. Then I did my master's in finance. Well, at least 80% of it. So I've given it a lot of time and effort. So I feel really proud of it. And I've been 20 years in banking.
So should you be? Yeah.
Singing is something that I was born with as a talent, and I've kind of been pursuing it more actively. I've been pursuing it more actively over the last couple of years or 3 years. So I'm still proud of it. But
Yeah,
I enjoy
absolutely.
both my professions, but I always say banker first.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so please tell us something about your banking journey. How did it start, and what type of banking you do?
So I am actually a corporate banker. So to simply put it, I work as a senior relationship manager, and I manage corporate customers within the UAE, and basically support them with their financing requirements and all the boring stuff. But I actually really love it. I love talking to clients. I love networking with them, helping them out with different things. So it's any non-banking person would find it very intimidating, but actually it's not. It's like any other profession. So my journey started in 2006. I got married. I graduated. I did my master's. I moved to Australia. I worked in Australia for about 9 years, and I worked across 4 of the largest banks there. And then I moved to Dubai in 2015. I joined one of the banks here. And so honestly, nothing really exciting in my banking journey besides the fact that I switched from one bank to the other. And then, when you come to Dubai, there's like 1,000 banks. So when I came to Dubai, I knew there was a lot of opportunities. It was a good time to move. And it was a bit of a cultural shock for me to move from Australia to Dubai because I'd never worked in Pakistan.
Right.
So Australia is a very straightforward, by the book kind of a place, especially professionally in banking.
Okay.
When I came to Dubai, Dubai banking is very exotic. So when I say exotic, it's actually pretty exciting because it's like the trade hub of the world.
Yes,
You're working with hundreds of nationalities here. In Australia, it's one corner of the world, so you're pretty much with Australians or some Far East Asians.
Yeah.
So Dubai, I got to learn a lot in banking, to be honest. I don't think I learned that much. And I think I grew a lot, and I worked across 3 banks, and now I'm currently with one bank. And quite happy, alhamdulillah. It kind of gives you that stability of having a job. As much as I love singing, I have to say it out loud that singing is not a very sustainable profession.
Yeah.
Unless you've started very young and you've become viral overnight, or you're making loads of money, or this is the only thing you want to do in life, then it's not something that, So this is my banking journey, and then singing journey kind of took off recently.
Yeah, that's amazing to know. So we have some exciting banking questions for you.
Oh.
What financial mistake you see people making regularly?
Not starting to save early on in life.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then when do you think that, savings or the concept of banking or, interest for a young child, when do you think one should start?
I think you should start as early as possible. I would even say when your child is 8 or 9, you started with a very basic concept of just saving. We have facilities here to open accounts like that. And then I think by the time your children are in their teens, they understand a little bit more because they're doing math and they're doing basic finance as well. I think it's just that focus on savings, which you see in a lot of Western countries. I don't see it that much, unfortunately, here. And I think there's a bit of a lifestyle influence here as well because people want to do nicer things here. They want to do fancy things here. There's a lot of social pressure as well to do different things. When we were in Australia taught me how to save because, you have me and my husband both were working. No matter which background you come from, you have a set budget and you know that when I get my salary, I'm going to put away this much amount first. And then there's automatically a certain amount that gets put away for superannuation or pension.
Yeah.
So I think the biggest mistake is not saving early. And the second mistake I have to highlight is differentiating between what is needed and what is a luxury or what is something that you want, which is a trap.
Yes, it is. Definitely.
But I think for this topic, you need a whole different podcast.
We do. I mean, we'll call you back. And I think because it is important, isn't it? I mean, I can share my experience, and I don't know same for you guys or not, but finances were never discussed openly as a family in our house. Although both parents being doctors, I mean, they were doing their own thing, and then I kind of like being a wife of a doctor as well. We are kind of like doing our own sort of circular pattern of things, getting up, going to work, then doing whatever we're required to do. But they weren't part of an open discussion at home, and even up till now, when I speak to my dad, for example, the bigger chunk of discussion, girls don't understand this. So, so it's mainly the males in the house kind of area where the discussions happen, the decisions get made, with that side of family. Women, at least in my circle of family or friends, at least what I knew of or grew up with, discussing things or financial decisions weren't a lot to be made with women in the family.
Yeah.
So, so that's a very different concept. And I think the older generation has still kind of held on to that. The newer, our generation is probably different. With, as you said, coming from a homemaker's family, you've stepped out, went into banking, and that was probably different considering, nobody in the family had done banking before, for example. So those kind of conversations didn't used to happen, but now they are happening and they should happen. And I think it should have an earlier understanding at a very young age about all of this. So, just as my family, I mean, I still
it was the same. But I think now the fun part is it has become totally opposite. Our husbands, they try to involve us, but now we are not interested.
We're not interested. If it's not shopping or if it's not about spending or holidays, we're really not interested.
We have this WhatsApp group. We have discussed this before as well in our family, in which my husband keeps on sharing about his investments and, expenditures and all those things. And my daughter, she just makes fun of it. She's never interested. So now I think it has become the opposite. The men, they want to involve and they want to, take the female partner to participate in these conversations, understand these conversations. But I think we have been so much away from these things that now it's very difficult for us to digest this at once and to understand this. We think maybe we have the medical background, so maybe it's more difficult for us, but I'm not sure about some other non-medical person.
I don't know. What do you think? I mean, what do you think? Why women are kept away, or why women still shy away from these things?
I think it's probably just maybe lack of financial knowledge. And I think it's also like generations of, like you said, just a traditional thing. It's probably, but I think now it's changing completely. So previously I used to think,
about that,
I think previously I used to think that only couples who are living outside of our country or in Western country, they are used to, equally contributing in the household, they're saving and everything is 50-50 and like that.
Yes.
Now when I go to Pakistan, it's actually happening in our country as well. And it's happening in other countries as well, where it was not a very common thing. I'll tell you something interesting. It's, I think before our generation, I still think it's a bit of a hush-hush discussion, or, women, like you said, women do not need to get worried about it. You know what, I'm the man, I'll provide for you, don't have to worry about it. But now, as more and more women are working and getting independent, I think this has changed a lot.
It's changing for sure.
And the funny thing is, I'll tell you something, because obviously we've seen our parents and we still have subconsciously some of those things in our mind. And, we are trying to break free from those things. So the other day, me and my kids and my husband, we were discussing a holiday. We were planning something. And then, of course, we have such a common thing, this is going to be too expensive. No, I think let's try to be smart and everything. And then all of a sudden, my 8-year-old asked me, by the way, Mom, how much do you earn? How much do you make every month? Now, honestly, I was not prepared for this question. and then I really, with kids, you really have to be careful of how you respond. Do you respond? Now, if this was my mom or if it was my dad, they would have been like, excuse me,
none of your business.
First of all, we would not have the guts to even ask that question. That's there. So I looked at my husband and I was just like, I have to respond to this in a very smart way without giving the information. Because obviously children are not ready for this kind of information. So I just had to be very smart and I said, look, everything is taken care of for you. Mom and dad are taking care of everything for you. you don't have to worry. No, but I'm just curious. And I'm like, why don't you save your curiosity for other things, like other thousand things? And these are things that we generally don't discuss openly. It's just like something like a basic etiquette.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was a very convincing response, but at least
No, but kids are curious, isn't it? I mean, they want to know. This generation
yeah.
pushes the boundaries. This
Yeah.
generation wants to get answers. This generation wants to know, and which I'm glad about. But I think, sometimes that kind of like a pushy behavior just makes you a bit uncomfortable. That
And everything has to be logical.
yes,
Everything has to make sense.
Make sense, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Because I think they have too much exposure. They are on their screens all the time.
Yeah.
They are watching
Yeah.
all kind of shows on the YouTube, so
Yeah.
they know everything about different kinds of conversations and all
Yeah,
those things.
yeah.
The same thing my little one asked me as well. How much money do we have? So now
Yeah.
what do you answer?
Yeah.
Of course, we have to give them some satisfactory answer that they
enough
also
for
feel
you, enough for you
satisfied
to
with.
order the Deliveroo.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because what she does is they keep on, ordering these things on the online gaming apps and all those things where they need to buy little things.
Yeah.
So once you will stop them after 1 week that, okay, now it's enough. Then they will ask these questions. But how much money do you have? How much money do you have?
Because for them it's just an addition and
Yeah.
subtraction. Okay, so you have this much, and
I'll
we need to
take this
spend
much.
this much. That means we have enough left.
Yeah.
But I think
So if every woman listening to you today could follow 3 money rules, what they would be?
So I think, especially women, I would say make sure that you have your own savings
Okay.
or investments. If you don't understand, please ask. Now you have so many tools online. You can just simply go on to multiple tools and just learn things. I say that especially for women because we still know that there are women who are in really vulnerable situations and they really don't know what to do
Yeah.
if, God forbid, something happens to their
Yeah.
partner
Yeah.
or they don't have any financial backing. I've actually seen women struggling a lot, and this is exactly where I say that you need to be, at least you need to have basic knowledge. So first is saving and investments. Second, if you don't know, get some knowledge. Third, I would say that definitely instill this in your children very early. I don't think it's fair that this responsibility only falls on the father. I think the women also should also be equally responsible. I think these are the 3.
Okay. And what's one basic thing everyone should know before using some loan from the bank or before applying for some credit cards? We keep on getting the calls and all these things. So one basic thing that every person shall know.
I think there's multiple basic things, but I would always say read what you're getting into. It's a, how do I put it in a very diplomatic way? So banks are a business as well. Banks are there to make money and they're very clear about it. There's a lot of read between the lines or fine prints. So sometimes people are in a rush to get a credit card or a loan or there's a need or something, and just because of the timing and the rush, they don't really read those details carefully. And then after that, if there's a penalty clause or if there's a extra charge or fee, then they act all surprised. So the banks are also quite responsible, especially across the world now. They're very responsible that the customers are aware. But you as a customer should make sure, instead of rushing into anything, you read everything before you get into it, and always do a comparison across the banks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, we are doctors, so we talk about health.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about financial health. So what are some habits that everyone shall develop to improve their financial health? I think one is saving. You have already
Saving
told.
is there. So I say I read it somewhere that don't focus on becoming rich, focus on becoming wealthy. So there is a difference in that, and there's a lot of things, especially if you live in Dubai. I think you need to be very clear on what defines wealth. People think wearing flashy jewelry or flashy bags and shoes and everything.
But
I feel that there's a bit of a trap, and I feel very strongly about it because I've seen people struggling, and you cannot go and sell your 12 designer bags and recover some money and pay off a debt if something happens. What I suggest is, of course, your savings is important. Focus on building your wealth rather than focusing on just building a bank account. What does that mean? That means that you have multiple investments. So like I said, get some knowledge on getting into different products, whether it's mutual funds or there's your equity or the share market, or whether it's simple savings accounts. So start somewhere, start small. I myself am not like a professional advisor. Make sure that you put away some money on the side and consult a financial advisor who's actually doing this for a living. That really helps you. And believe me, it sounds, I don't know why, but people today, they just don't give importance to things like this, which is actually so critical.
Crucial,
because
isn't it? Yeah.
because you never know what will happen in your life, and life is too short. And when things happen, then people are like, I wish I'd done this, and I wish I'd done this. And when people talk to me about it, and I say, well, I really wanted you to work on this earlier. But anyway, so focus on doing different investments. Obviously, don't put your eggs in one basket, which is a common thing. Do multiple things as well. Try to avoid spending on things which are not necessary and don't add value to your life. So be very clear on those things. I've learned that over the last years, and I've stopped doing that as well. And I think lastly, I would say that try to invest in property market as early as possible, because there's a certain life associated with it as well. And start small. I mean, there's no such thing as a small real estate or a big real estate. So I always say that real estate is an area where you always get long-term benefits.
So I'm just going to divert a little bit sort of with this currency sort of pattern, isn't it? I mean, there's the normal money, and then there's crypto, or, all these other things that is going on. So where are we with that, and what's your take? I mean, are we moving to a complete crypto world? Are we moving into complete Bitcoin? Are we moving into complete, they're different? I mean, I look at these, like my husband talks about it, and I'm like, I have no idea what is all this. Where is the money? I don't have anything in my hand. I don't know where does it exist.
Exactly. So, I mean, honestly, I'll tell you something. I'm probably not the best person to talk about it, because I myself feel a bit hesitant towards. I wouldn't even call it an instrument like that. Like, I want to see my money. I want to be able to feel my money. I don't want to be
somewhere in the air.
Yeah, exactly. And I know this is something that has been going on for years now.
For a while now, exactly.
But I myself don't feel comfortable. And if my gut is telling me that I'm not comfortable, I'm not going to do it. So I'd rather put my money somewhere else. I listen to it as well. I don't think we'll completely move or shift towards there based on whatever I've read. But I feel like people always want something new. People always want something interesting. People always want something exotic, And especially people who, I mean, it's all risk and return.
Exactly.
So it's. I mean, I should not. I mean, it's you're taking that risk. You know that you're going to get that return. But when the market goes down, but you're living in a market which always revives after a few years as well. So it's a very individual thing, to be honest. I myself am not very comfortable with it.
I mean, it's the same for me. I mean, when we started talking about it, this is 10 plus years ago, even maybe longer, actually, 15 years. This whole concept came of Bitcoin and all, and I'm like, I'm just not sure. And same was for my problem. I didn't feel good in my gut, and I'm like, I'm not comfortable. I don't know where that money is. I want to, as you said, see it, feel it, and I've invested into something which is useful and has a better return in front of my eyes as the market evolves or changes. So I think that makes more sense to me in a logical way than, I don't know, looking or tracking the numbers on a computer and then kind of like, oh, it was this and it's now this, and then it will come back to this. So graphs, I think, I mean, I love graphs when we read our medical studies.
Okay.
But,
that's
but, they give me a lot of, I look at it and I'm like, okay, great. This drug is working well, is winning, fantastic. For maths and for, such things, if the graph is kind of like always is a mountain and hitting, the bottom and then picking up. But that's how I suppose the thing is. So it's interesting with kids, especially, just coming back to that, because I think it's important for the kids to understand this concept. And I think there's a lot of, I have to admit, on scrolling, you go through social media and certain kind of concept, and there's always this 3-bucket rule, isn't it? With one in the pot goes into the savings, the other one goes into the expenses, and the third one goes into kind of like, your emergency funds or something, or charity for that matter. Do you instill that concept into your kids? Do you how do you teach them?
I try to. I've tried to at least have that savings bucket there. The spending bucket, I think we're very, very well taking care of our children.
Yeah.
So
you keep control of that.
But I make sure that we keep reminding our children that they are very blessed.
Yes.
And we have not had that things that easy.
Yeah.
And I think that is so important,
Yes.
especially when you're living in a place like here,
Yes.
where everything is at, on your
Fingertips,
fingertips. So I feel really cautious of the fact that I want my children not to take this for granted.
Yeah.
Because they may have to move back to Australia, most probably they will.
Yeah.
Or we may have to move to Pakistan. And then, again, this is something that I've seen. People having lived in Dubai and then having to move somewhere else. And then life is just like, oh my God, I cannot survive.
Topsy-turvy all
Yeah,
together,
I cannot call the Bakala guy and get everything dropped
That's
off in the
true.
next 5 minutes to my house.
Yeah.
So that's the second thing. So I just, spending is taken care of, but we make sure that we control it.
Yeah.
And third, I think, is the charity part, which I feel that now I'm kind of focusing more on, because this is something that your children don't really understand that well early on. So I'll give you an example that I think I've been able to do it better since I've been taking my children back to Pakistan.
Yeah.
Because see, when
Yeah,
you're
I
here,
agree. Yes, yes.
you don't see anyone on the streets
Yeah.
who's begging. It's not
Yeah,
allowed.
yeah.
You don't see a lot of inconveniences.
Yeah.
Things are so convenient here.
Yeah.
Although, yes, there are people of determination.
Yeah.
There's institutes like that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of work. But when our children see this in Pakistan,
Yeah.
they were really shocked.
Yeah.
I remember that my daughters were in the car, and then we were driving somewhere, and then we saw this little kid. He was very underprivileged. Let's put it that way. And he was begging on the street. So my kids were confused for like 5-10 minutes. They did not even understand what was going on.
Same.
So I had to explain to them that this is also life. And some people have to live that. Now, this was so extreme for my younger daughter that she had trouble sleeping because she had never seen that.
Yeah.
So, how do you explain that to your children, that this is also a reality of the world? I mean, there's so much they can see on the screens.
That's true.
So, but in a way, it was painful for me. But in a way, I think it was necessary that they should always be grateful for what they have.
Yeah.
So, that day changed a lot for me and my children as well. Because after that, my daughters, whenever they have money, they're saving. They're always putting some money aside.
Yeah.
Whenever we go to Pakistan, they get Eid when we're there for Eid. So they always put like 50% and they'll go and give to someone as well.
Yeah.
So I'm really proud of that as well.
Yeah.
But I just don't want them to do it just for the sake of doing it. They have to really understand that
Yes.
they're doing it.
The need for that. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Good. So, shall we change gears? Next chapter in Samra Khan's life, Voice of Her. What was the concept? How did you get to it? I mean, I think it's a brilliant idea. And I've seen so many women who are talented, and the talent comes from the kitchen to the living room maximum, and it just dies there. It doesn't make its way out to where it probably could get to. So I hope this is taking and picking up traction. I hope it's picking up, the gist in Pakistan, and people are reaching out to you, and the talented women are reaching out to you. But just tell us about the concept. How did you come up with that, and how are you running it?
So I'll give you a quick background to it so that you understand why I thought of creating this. So I started singing professionally very young, but 2015 when I did Coke Studio in Aki Khushbu.
Yes, yeah.
I got that opportunity. I got a little bit of fame, but then I was in Dubai. I had a job, got busy, did not pursue singing that much. Was doing a few OSTs here and there. Anyway, fast forward 10 years. In between, I had done one song with Kavish, Baat and Kahi, which got very popular as well.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Let's hear it.
I now? Okay.
Okay, tell us the story and then
I will tell you the story and then
Yeah.
Sure. So fast forward 10 years, I performed for my concert, for the first Kavish concert in Karachi in 2024. And I just went, and again, I was not pursuing singing that much. I was interested, but not really pursuing it. I went and I performed on stage, and this was the first time I heard about 1,500 people chanting my name. Wow.
Wow.
So I was shocked. I was like, oh, people actually know me. And they know me because of
Amazing.
this song or because of whichever song. And so it was a bit of an awakening for me
Yeah.
that, people do know me.
Yeah.
That kind of boosted my confidence as well.
course.
So anyway, I started writing songs on my own. I started doing a few more performances. However, I always felt that there was a challenge. There was always some sort of a barrier, especially for women in Pakistan, to reach out to people, to find producers, to find musicians. And I just felt like it was a man's world, and there was a lot of things that happened. So I thought for someone like myself, who's still very lucky and still has a lot of privilege because I know people in the industry and I already have a job, I'm able to approach whoever I want, and I'm also facing a lot of challenges. So I was just thinking, I couldn't imagine what any other women or female artists who are coming from smaller cities, who don't have financial backing, who don't have any contacts.
Yeah.
I was wondering, how do they manage?
Yeah.
So that's when this whole concept of voice of her came across. And I thought that I'm going to just create something where I can invite female artists to come
Yeah.
and create a very sustainable model. What is a sustainable model? It's that, see, I'm a banker and I understand finance and I can talk to corporates. So I thought that I'm going to reach out to sponsors
Yeah.
to create events
Yeah.
where these women can perform.
Yeah.
And they also get paid. It's not like they just have to come and
Yeah.
perform. And
Yeah.
and we provide entertainment. At the same time, we have a female lineup. So over the last less than 1 year that I've created this, we have already done 2 shows. We have
Nice.
started a podcast as well in
Yeah.
Pakistan to feature female artists and
Lovely.
women in performing art as well. And we had a very successful show just last month in Karachi as well.
Yeah.
So this was the whole concept. And the best thing is that as of today, I think we have around 16 or 1700 followers on Instagram, for example.
Lovely.
We have a community or WhatsApp group of around 50 women.
Nice.
And there are girls who are 16 years old to 50 plus years old. Somebody is a musician, somebody is a singer, somebody is a producer.
Yeah.
What do? We talk to each other. We
Yeah.
promote each other's work.
Yeah.
I mean, it just takes one click and repost, and
Absolutely.
you just. But that sense of community is the strength of Voice of Her.
Yeah.
I've not promised anyone that I'm going to help you make money or I'm going to get you fame or anything like that. But at least they know there's a safe space where they can
Yes.
talk, and they know that they can collaborate whenever they want
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
So this is the journey of.
And this is such a
Excellent.
beautiful way of giving back as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm sure it must give you so much personal gratification because you're already working as a banker, then you are doing your own singing thing as well. You have your children, your family to take care of, and then this as well. So yeah,
Yeah.
amazing.
Let's hear your Baat and Kahi. That's my favorite.
Okay. तेरे प्यार में इंतजार में खुद को फना मैं कर गई हो जा के आई वापस यहीं पे रह ना सकी मैं बिन तेरे खुशियाँ भी रूठी सपने भी टूटे साथ रहा ना तू मेरे.
Beautiful.
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 Lovely.
Thank you.
Nice. Rapid fire, and then I think Mariam has one more request. One of
Yeah.
your favorite songs as well.
Yeah, now we'll do the first
Rapid
rapid
fire?
fire. Okay. So first we'll do the rapid fire. This is the fun part. You have to give very quick and honest answers. Whatever comes to your mind instantly, you have to tell us that,
Oh,
okay?
God.
So coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Stage or boardroom?
Stage.
Saving or spending?
Saving.
Early bird or late nighter?
Both.
Oh, wow.
I am.
One word that describes you.
Genuine.
Who's your favorite singer?
I have so many, but I would say the legend Nayyara Noor.
Amazing. One thing you never leave home without.
My phone.
What's your biggest strength?
Positivity.
One piece of advice for your younger self.
Just keep doing what you're doing. Nothing to change.
Okay. Favorite travel destination?
Paris.
Favorite place to grab coffee in Dubai?
Arabica.
One word you'd use to describe Dubai.
Full of opportunities.
Nice. How many hours do you sleep?
Minimum 6 to 7.
Okay. A most used app on the phone?
Instagram. Guilty.
Same, yeah.
Everybody has said that.
Yeah, everybody has said it's the same for all of us.
Yeah.
What's the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning?
Oh, check my phone. Guilty.
Best way to relax after a hectic day?
Just lay on my couch.
That's nice. So I think we are done with the rapid fire.
You know, Samra mentioned Naya Noor, and I mean, Kavish obviously band with, the sun leading that, but I love the song, the Faraz and Dhoop Kinare, the share that...
yes.
I think that's our childhood.
Baat yun dil ne kahi, khoi hui yaad aayi.
I'll sing that for you now.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Please.
रात यूं दिल में तेरी खोई हुई याद आई जैसे वीराने में चुपके से बाहर जैसे सहराओं में हौले से चले बादे नसीब जैसे बीमार को बेवजह करार आ जाए.
Oh, beautiful,
that's lovely.
Samra. That
This is
so
my
lovely.
favorite song of
It's
hers as
my
well.
favorite. It's my favorite all the time. I think it's just something that really pulls me back, and I think it's one of those that I just, if one phrase or one verse to relax,
Yeah.
this is what it is.
Yeah.
I think that's how I just resonate with it. I think that's my grounding song.
I love it too. It makes me very emotional actually.
Yeah, me too. But it's making me emotional even right now listening to.
We are such emotional women.
What to do? But then at the same time we're emotional, but I think we're quite sturdy with whatever we do, aren't we? I mean, I'm sure banking has its own tough areas, and singing with whatever it is. I mean, agreed, it's a man's world wherever you go, and to get your way where you have to be. Carving your path, getting to or carrying on with your journey. It's not easy, and the emotion side I think gets put behind because at that time you're so focused that you need to lead.
Yeah.
And you need to get to what you've dreamt of, and you need to be at a certain point where you think you're capable of. I think we women probably undervalue ourselves a lot.
Oh yes, we do.
And I think we are capable of a lot, and we do a lot, but we don't know how to value ourselves as much.
Yeah.
And we don't know how to sell ourselves, because that's, I think, one of the other areas that, we'll talk about some other day. But, to say that, I'm worthy of it, to actually own that.
That's such a beautiful thing you've said, because that's one of the things that I try to do under Voice of Her, because I can't even tell you the kind of talent that I see in that group.
Yeah.
I feel I'm not even 50% of that talent, or most of them. But what's lacking is that confidence.
Yeah.
And I try to understand. Sometimes it really frustrates me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you waiting for? What are you scared of?
Yeah.
But then I say that these are younger girls.
Yes.
We have reached a certain age where we've become very self-aware.
Yes.
And I know today exactly what I want. And I know these are my hard lines and I'm not going to do this. But even when we were growing up or when in our younger years, we didn't know a lot of things.
Yeah.
So but that's the whole point of being in that place of privilege where you can try to mentor these girls.
Exactly.
And honestly, it just makes me so proud when I see any of them doing something, because I feel like this is what we need.
Yeah.
And it's a man's world, like you rightly said.
Yeah.
But it will happen eventually. That you just have to wait and keep doing what you're doing. So,
Absolutely. And I think these things start from home. So your daughter is a very good singer. I obviously heard her last week. So I think, as they say, charity starts at home. I think the mentorship starts at home as well.
Oh, yes.
So,
yes,
they're lucky to have, a mother like you. And I'm sure they're learning, seeing you bloom every day. And they are getting the reflection of that. And they're in the shine of that, which I'm sure is doing wonderful to them. Thank you so much for taking time out.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for having
Thank
us.
you so much for taking out time and coming over. It was lovely having you. And especially the songs that you sang for us. We really loved it.
Thank you.
Thank
you
you
for having me.
No, thank you very much. It's always a pleasure, and even more so now. So
Yes.
it's good to have connected, and I'm sure this is going to go a long way.
Inshallah. Yeah, Shabeeha, I saw a lot of potential in you last time, if you know what I mean.